don't become what you want. You become where your habits take you.
Nothing's ever going to be given to you. Everything's going to be earned. If you don't go out there and put in the work, you don't go out and put in the effort, one, you're not going to get the results. But two, more importantly, you don't deserve it. You didn't earn it.
There's certain things you want out of life. You want the finest things, but you're not willing to work for them. You cry about you don't get this.
Entering the Chaka verse, Chaka Crypto. Welcome to the Chaka verse. He all speaking Chaka facts, I'm out speaking Chaka words. We all making Chaka raps, we call this the Chaka verse. No, I can't help you cop the bag, but I can help you do research. So come and join the Chaka pack and explore the Chaka universe.
What is going on? What up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling refreshed, man. Hope everybody's out there doing well. Who we got in the chat? DNA in the chat saying, "Hey, what up, MK2000? What's going on?" Yeah, today we have the we're gonna take it back into time. Now, me and the wife we went out on a walk yesterday. Good walk, man. Get a little bit of exercise. And we got to chopping it up and talking, and that we probably did about 4 miles worth of walking, but we were talking about just going back into when we grew up, and we're talking about the different technologies when we grew up, had some good conversations, and that 4 mile walk just flew by. So she kind of gave me the idea for this, taking it back to the 80s. Yeah. Exactly. Back in my day. So this is a back in my day stream. So we're gonna go ahead and kick it off, and shout out to the wifey, man. I woke up this morning. She had breakfast ready. I just having a great day, having a great day. So happy to jump on here. Let's see. We're gonna start this off with just going through talking about some old technology we have back in my day. You know, we got the VCRs. I got a funny story about the VCRs, about VHS, actually. So we keep a bunch of, we got the old school Disney VHS movies. I keep them in the garage. And one day my youngest, he was probably 8 years old. He's helping me clean the garage out. And he's like, "Dad, what are these things?" I was like, "Those are VHS tapes." "Well, what do you do with them?" "You watch movies." And he picked one up, and you know the white piece behind the VHS where you wind it up. He puts that to his eyes, and he's like, I can't see the movie. I can't watch it. So he thought it was one of those toys, you know, that you look through and you watch. I said, "No, you got to put it in a VCR." And then we don't own a VCR. So he's like, "What's a VCR?" And then I had to explain to him. I really think I need to get a VCR, but because we got a lot of old home movies that I want to show the kids and have them check out. I got a bunch of movies of their dad, of me playing sports that they don't believe that I actually played. So I gotta show them that proof. In our wedding video. I don't think the kids has ever seen a wedding video. Fax machines, which we still use, but that's an old school fax machine right there. The floppy disks. I used to have floppy disks for days back in the day. Pager. Never had a pager. Cassettes. I still got cassette tapes. Polaroids are coming back. Like my daughter, who's in Italy in the military, by the way, she has a mini Polaroid camera. They're actually pretty slick. You know, they're I think she has like a little blue one, and she can take little tiny Polaroid pictures, but nothing like the old school big old Polaroid pictures where, you know, you got to buy the film and put them in there. They're different nowadays. Let's see, MK says, "I have a VCR DVD player." Do you? Dude, I got to get one of those. I got to get one of the combos that I can put my VHS into DVD. I think that's what I'm looking for. I got to go searching on Amazon. So let's see. The first video I got. You remember these videos, the Zenith? Because when I was young, back in my day, you're probably going to hear that a lot this stream. We didn't have a VCR. We used to have to go to this video store, local video store. It was called Video Hut. And we would have to rent the VCR to watch movies for like a family movie night. And that damn thing came in a suitcase, but it was so cool. We had to go to the video store, rent a VCR, and watch the movie. But going back, checking out these commercials are pretty funny.
What would you
This
call
was
a
this was
video
top of the
recorder
line
that has
back then.
everything?
I call it smart.
It's a Zenith VHS with extraordinary VHS hi-fi stereo.
Smart.
Plus a remote that can control both the deck and the TV.
Control is both. That's smart.
And clear special effects.
Smart.
One of the new smart decks, Zenith's VHS video recorders. When you want everything.
Very smart.
Very smart. That's funny that they that was top of the line back then. The VHS Zenith VCR. When we got lucky enough to rent one of those bad boys, it was a good night. Cell phones changed so much from what we got today. I mean, shit. I never had this particular cell phone, but my first cell phone was a Nokia, and it looked like a brick. And all you could do on it was play like that Snake game. One of the things I miss from when I was a kid is a nice drive in the movie theater. Oh man, do you remember the first movie that you ever went to go see in the movie theater? First time ever. Mine was my dad took me, and this is the first time I've ever been to the movie theater. My dad took me to go watch E.T. And as a kid, at the time, it's supposed to be all the kids love this movie. And I watched it, and it was a great experience. Here I am watching E.T. with my dad, eating popcorn. E.T. scared the shit out of me. E.T. scared the shit out of me. I didn't want to make my dad feel bad, but after the movie, I was like, Dad, that's great. I love E.T. E.T.'s a great movie. For some reason, E.T. scared the shit out of me. And to make it even worse, my dad really thought that I loved E.T., so he decorated my room. When I was younger, I had the E.T. posters everywhere, big old beanbag size ET stuffed animals, ET toys, and I was scared shitless to go to my room. I had the ET poster where he comes out of the closet and he's wearing like a wig. That was a poster that was right about the first thing I saw when I woke up. So if I had to get up in the middle of the night and go to the restroom, I saw that ET and it horrified me. I got rid of that ET stuff as soon as I could, but God bless my dad. I could not I didn't have the heart to tell him, my dad, E.T. scares the shit out of me. And he decorated my room in my worst nightmare. But E.T. was the first movie I ever checked out. And like I said, the Nokia phone, I didn't have this one, but I had the brick phone. And it you can only play the Snake game on there. But at the time, I thought I was the shit, walking around with my cell phone. You couldn't even text. You had to tap each number. A, B, C, 2 was D, E, F, or whatever the hell it was. So let's see. Computers. Back in the day, the computers were the shit. We got the Sony Walkman. My kids don't even know what that's all about. Of course, CDs, that was a little bit newer. Microsoft Windows. So I want to get into computers a little bit and talk about like my first computer. God, the Betamax. What you guys, anybody here know about the Betamax? The Clapper. So my first, the Game Boy. Hell yeah, we're going to talk about all that stuff. So my first computer was a Texas Instrument, but I think I have a video on the Game Boy because I got a Game Boy too. I think I had the original Game Boy that came out. I had Tetris. I was the coolest kid on the block because I was the first kid with a Game Boy, and everybody wanted to come over and play it. And now looking back at it, I think I still have it. I think I still have it in storage somewhere. That sucked. I mean, but it was a shit at the time. I think I got a Game Boy commercial. Let's pull this out.
They said it wasn't humanly possible. All the power and excitement of Nintendo right in the palm of your hand. Introducing Game Boy. It's portable, it's in stereo, and its games are interchangeable. Game Boy comes complete with batteries and the outrageous new game Tetris. And for head-to-head competition, use Video Link and blow your opponent away. Game Boy, only from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power. Portable power.
That's what it was, the Video Link. The Video Link where you can hook it up to other people with the Game Boys, and we would battle it out on Tetris. And then there was a Mario game. It was a Tetris Mario, Dr. Mario, I think it was called. Kind of the same concept. You had to get to line up the blocks as they come down and win points. And then the more you would get your player, the blocks would get higher. But that was good times, man. And I remember my first Nintendo. Back in my day, Nintendo was the shit. I had the whole setup. There was this movie called The Wizard, and it had I forget the kid's name. Anyways, it was a video game movie, and that's the first time I saw the Power Glove. So that's what I asked for Christmas when I was a kid. I got the Power Glove. I used to play Mike Tyson's Punch Out with that bad boy, and the Power Glove sucked. The Power Glove was useless, but I had it, and it was cool. Let's see, we got the vintage record players. I do remember having these when I was younger. My dad had a sweet ass record player. This was pretty much it right here. I pulled this one up because I found it. The Wizard. Hell yeah, that movie's bad. The soundtrack was a shit. But it was a dude from Wonder Years and his little brother. That's who the character was. His little brother was the gamer. I just can't think of his name right now. And then the dude from Wonder Years was the older brother, and they're trying to get this kid to go to a Nintendo tournament, to a big tournament to win something, to win a big prize, win a bunch of money. But this kid was some badass gamer, and it was a great movie. I still like it to this day. A lot of that, God, the guy from the Wonder Years, I got to look him up really quick. But a lot of his movies were badass. Like Little Monsters with Howie Mandel. Monsters with Howie Mandel, who played the monster. That was a really good movie too. Wonder Years cast. Savage, was it Fred Savage? Is the Savage Brothers? Yeah, that's who it was. That was gonna bug me. Yeah, Fred Savage. You got it. You got it before I did. Yeah, so Fred Savage, his little brother. Yeah, Fred Savage came out with a bunch of movies when I was younger that I really like to this day. So talking about the record player, my dad used to have the. What is going on, Dana? Welcome. We're just we're taking it back into time. We're talking about some old school. Well, I'm 41, so I was born in 81. So all through the 80's was my young childhood, and we're just reminiscing about back in the day. We went over a little bit on the VCR, talking about the Game Boy a little bit. This is a record player, like a home audio system that my dad used to have. And I actually had this for the longest time. When I moved out, he kept it, but then nothing worked. I think I used the speakers and I rewired them. I was born in 73. Nice. 81 for me as well. Then, 81 was the year. 81 was the year. And I still had this. Year 5. I still had this. But this led into me when I was older. 19, 20, 18, 19, 20. I moved out when I was 17. So I had my own apartment when I was 17. So somewhere around that age, I wanted to become a DJ because that was a cool thing to be. I wanted to mix it up on the ones and twos. So I got me a record player, and I still got a bunch of my records. That turned out being booty. I was no good at DJing it up, but in my mind, I was DJ Chaka, ready to do some house parties. Born in 81. Arnold was born in 69. Nice. Oh, hell yeah. Look at this. Hi, Chaka. What is going on, brother? What is going on? We're just taking it back old school, If you guys missed it, this was the little flyer I pulled up. Lazy Jedi in the house. Just talking about stuff that I had when I grew up as a young kid. We went over the Game Boy, went over the VCR, talking about how we used to have to rent a VCR from a little video store called Video Hut to go home and watch some movies. Then we talked about the Game Boy a little bit. Now we're talking about this record player because I still have a lot of my records. I have a very big collection of records. These ones aren't in the greatest shape. I pulled out a couple. I got the Sugar Hill Gang. What you guys know about the Sugar Hill Gang? And these were all back in my wannabe DJ days where I thought it was cool. Let's get JJ Fad. Little supersonic action. And nothing beats the records because especially the ones where you can read the information and open them up like a book. And then, of course, the Jacksons. I actually got a bunch of Michael Jacksons. I got the Thriller record that's still in the wrapper. These ones I took out because they're not in the best of shape. The other ones I really don't touch. Let's see. We have Crypto Talk now. Max saying sub Lazy Jedi and everyone else. What is going on? Everybody saying what up to Max. Yeah, so that was my entertainment. Want to be DJ for a little bit. So going through the 80s rabbit hole, I found this video right here. These are like a mechanic fighter, vintage 70s robot. I used to have these when I was a kid. I actually still have one right here. I actually have this one on screen. This is the one on screen right here. I'll open up the box. Not in the best shape. I got some other vintage toys that I keep hidden away. But there was a variety of them. I used to have some that had a little gun and smoke would come out. You had to put some kind of oil in there and then smoke would come out. But I used to collect those. My collection dwindled down to about 5, which I still have. This one's the worst. It's in the worst shape, so I pulled that one out. The rest I kind of keep put away. Maybe I should put them in a display in the background. Chaka is the imp, the pimp. Chaka is the imp, the ladies' pimp. Crypto women fight for his delight because he is the funk master with the 3 MCs who be rocking it out for all the young ladies. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my God, Chaka been here 10 seconds and already love the stream. Game Boy VCR speaking my language. That's what I'm talking about, man. And I did talk about the first movie that my dad took me to to the theaters. What was your guys' first movie that you ever seen in the movie theaters? Gotta love the Sugar Hero Gang, man. Oh, for sure, dude. If you like hip hop in any way, truly like hip hop, you got to go back to the Sugar Hero Gang. Yes, I love it already. Thank you. And I'm having a great day. You know, I've had the wifey got up, made me some breakfast. We came up with this idea last night. We went for a walk. We were chopping it up. It was a beautiful day. I'm just having a great couple days, man. I'm in a great mood. Feeling a little bit healthier. Quit drinking. That's always that's a big deal. I'm going a month strong. No alcohol. Been eating right, so I'm ready to go, baby. Jaws. You saw Jaws? That's awesome. And I was, if you guys weren't here earlier, my first movie was E.T. Jaws is a great movie. My first movie was E.T. My dad took me to go watch E.T. And just to make a long story short, I watched E.T. as a kid, and then it was a great movie. It's supposed to be great for kids, right? But that E.T. scared the shit out of me. I was horrified of E.T., but I didn't want to make my dad feel bad. And so after the movie, I told him, it was great. It was great. Something about E.T. just scares me. So my dad went and bought me a bunch of E.T. merch. So in my room as a kid, I had a bunch of E.T. merch. I had a giant beanbag E.T. I had a poster of E.T., you know, on that part where he comes out of the closet and he's wearing a wig and a hat. And, you know, E.T. everywhere in my room. But I never had the heart to tell my dad, you just decorated my room in my worst nightmare. But let's see. So the first 4 movies I can remember: Goonies, great movie; Crocodile Dundee, awesome; and my first R-rated movie when I was only 6 years old was The Untouchables. Great. That's a great combo right there. Those are some great movies. Crocodile Dundee in the theater? Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And Jaws is great. We just went to Universal not too long ago, and they still got the Jaws thing up. It was very entertaining for the kids. And so we were going to get into computers. So my first computer I ever had was a Texas Instrument. You really couldn't I didn't know what you can do with this thing. I was younger. I was in my teenage years, of course. And all I can remember is I was able to run a little bit of HTML and then make the screen change colors. That's as far as I got with that thing. The Untouchables, Frank Nitti murders Wallace in the elevator and wrote "touchable" in blood across the elevator wall. I'll never forget that. Oh yeah, to see that as a kid. My parents didn't take me or my brothers to the theater much when we were young. They knew better. we rented when it came to VHS. Yeah, we had we rented a lot of movies too. And then we had to rent Nintendo games. And there was a place called CNC Video. I remember renting these Nintendo games, and my dad had an account there. I got in the biggest trouble because there was a 7-Up came out with a video game called Cool Spot. You pretty much played the red dot that from the 7-Up ad, but at the time they advertised it like crazy, so I had to play Cool Spot. So I ditched school without my dad knowing. I went to CNC, and and they let me do it too. Here I am, a kid. And I rented Cool Spot, put it on my dad's account. But in order to hide it, because I was scared and my brother would have snitched on me, I hid it under the house. At all the places, I hid it under the house. And then I forgot about it. So months later, my dad gets a call. Hey, you ever going to turn in Cool Spot? You're charged like this much money. Pretty much we owned the game at that time because he had to pay so much. And then he's like, hey, did you rent a game? I was like, yeah. And he goes back and asks what time I rented it. He found out that I ditched school. I got in so much trouble, and the game got ruined because it rained and it flooded the bottom of the house, and I ruined my game anyway. So my dad just had to pay out of pocket. We were wild, so not suitable for public outings. Hey, I feel you, man. Lazy and his brothers were locked in the basement until age 16, just wanting to get a little bit of that sun. Just let me get a little bit of sun. All right, so this is the commercial I found on a Texas Instrument.
When you run a small business, problems can leave you groping in the dark.
You couldn't sleep either, huh?
And at the time, these were
like the Texas Instruments
top-notch,
professional computer. It's easy to use keyboard, sharp, clear graphics,
1983.
and hundreds of software programs will give you fast, reliable solutions today and tomorrow.
Mike, I've got it.
The Texas Instruments professional computer for reliable solutions today and tomorrow.
And that was about it, just today and tomorrow, and then they went out of date. So 2 days probably. they were out. LOL, actually 17. MK 17. Yes. Crypto Surfer in the house, volted up, bullish on Chaka Crypto. Well, welcome. We're taking it back. Welcome to the time machine. We're taking it back to the 80s, talking about different things from when I grew up. And then then the Commodore. I remember we getting the Commodore, and then there was a couple games that I can play on this. I thought this was the next big thing, but the games were just like learning games, like alphabet stuff. And I think we had a printer that was slow as hell, but of course, no internet connection. But I remember I had this Commodore 64, and we got this because of the William Shatner commercial. And I still remember to this day, and I was able to find it. I'll pull it up right now. When I was a kid, my uncle took us to an old vintage theater in Hollywood district of Portland, Oregon, called the Hollywood Theater. Anyway, there was a Goldie Hawn movie called Deceived. I wonder if I've seen that. I've seen a lot of Goldie Hawn movies. I'm not great with the titles. Well, there was a scene. Well, there's where there's a fire. Long story short, I'm like, hey, Uncle Dale, these are some amazing effects. Well, they were not specific or special effects. The screen, holy shit, the screen was on fire. That's a great story, man. Oh man, this fire looks so real. It's so hot. How did they make it to where I could feel this fire? That's funny. They used silver nitrate film back then, and it was during summer. Oh my God. And the projectionist person had a magnifying effect that caught fire. That is funny. And caused the entire theater, the whole theater was burning down. So did you take your popcorn with you? Because that would be just sitting out there, just Uncle Dale. This was the best movie ever. Thank you. That is so funny. They had to close the theater and renovate due to the fire. It was closed for a year or so. That's a great story, man. That is hilarious. So here's the William Shatner video for the Commodore 64.
Why buy just a video game from Atari?
Look at old William Shatner.
Invest in the wonder computer of the 1980s for under $300. The Commodore VIC-20. Unlike games, it has a real computer keyboard.
Unlike games.
With the Commodore VIC-20, the whole family can learn computing at home. Plays great games, too. Under $300, the wonder computer of the 1980s, the Commodore VIC-20.
Coming soon, Commodore brings you Gorf, the Wonder arcade game, and Omega Race in home versions. Commodore.
to match the higher end.
I don't even remember those games. Those were the fancy games. Never got to play Garf or any of those. All the games that I played on the Commodore was like spelling games. Oh, hell yeah. Oregon Trail. I remember Oregon Trail. That was badass. I wouldn't mind playing Oregon Trail today. I don't exactly remember. You just had to survive, right? You had to eat. You had to survive. The Oregon Trail. That was pretty much the gist of that game. Atari. I did have an Atari. I had an Atari until I got Nintendo. And Atari, I don't remember the games that I had, but it was just a spaceship that you can, you just ran around shooting little dots. But I did have an Atari. I wouldn't mind playing that now. I know. We should do an Oregon Trail stream. Max, let's set that up. I don't even know if I can get Oregon Trail. Do they even have that anymore? I was born in the mid 80s, grew up in the 90s. Love the 90s. Hey, the 90s, I was still growing up in the 90s too. On that big ass floppy. Yes, sir. It's okay, Lazy. Yeah, you're still good. You're surrounded by, 90s was still a good year. Key thing, did you have a bike? Oh, of course I had a bike. I got kicked out of the house so much. But we used to build our own bikes. I think my dad bought me one bike. My dad bought me one bike. It was a BMX, just a basic BMX bike. I don't know the actual name of it. It was a BMX bike. But every time a piece would break down or we would upgrade them, we had like a little kid bike group, like a little bicycle gang. We would pretty much just build our own bikes. I would put different handlebars on there. We get crazy, put different size wheels. I know there was one time I thought it was cool, and I put a tiny ass wheel on the back, and then a big wheel in the front. And we were cool like that. Always interchange our bike parts. We had almost 100 games on the Atari. If you still have that could be, those are worth some money now. Okay, let's do this. So let's see, what else do I got here? I showed this video, and then that got me into my Star Wars collection. I do have a Star Wars collection. I wish I had the rest of them, because Star Wars was huge for me when I was younger. That came out, and I was like, oh my God, that blew my mind. Let's see, born in 81, Wikipedia says, I am the last of Gen X. You see, and that's where, Wikipedia says that, and some other sites, I'm the beginning of Gen Y. All I know is my childhood was amazing and always played outside, playing with friends, riding bikes, playing sports. Exactly. Now it's all about, I got to actually force my kids outside because he's stuck on, his computer setup's better than mine. I actually bought him all his stuff before I had mine. I was over here streaming on a little laptop, rinky-dink desk, just making it. And I hooked him up and got him a whole setup, LED lights, 2 giant big curved screens, awesome computer, gaming setup. He had this mic before. I wanted this mic, but I bought it for him originally first. So he has one, I have one. Yeah, but now it's a struggle to get him out of the house. Everything's so accessible, and with cable, the Fire Stick, he has any movie at his fingertips, anything. It was all stolen. Oh, that is too bad. That is too bad. So I don't know what the hell I am. I've heard different things too. Am I part of Gen X or am I a millennial? I don't think we qualify as millennial. I think we're Gen X, and that's just what I've been saying every time I'm asked that. I will never ever trade the experience I had in my childhood for anything we have now in the modern era. And that's true, because even my kids, when they watch like Stand By Me or movies like, and that was of course way before the 80s, when it took place, but movies like that, they have nostalgia, and the kids, when I show them old movies, they love them. They love them. And the 80s had the best movies. My kids love the Goonies. My kids love Back to the Future movies, Star Wars. All that stuff came out in the 80s, man. Those were the best. Those was, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 90s. All the great movies came out. And it seemed like now they're just redoing them. Star Wars still going. They're redoing it. And also Goonies filmed in Oregon. I didn't know that, but I did watch a documentary on the Goonies and seen a bunch of the cut scenes, all the scenes that were deleted, and there was a lot deleted. They did, and every now and then, like there was an octopus scene when they were down there getting the treasure from the pirate ship. There was an octopus in the water. Every now and then, if you watch it on cable, they'll show that octopus scene. But if you watched it in, I believe in theaters, and even now, if you get the DVD, that scene's not in there. But at the end, what's his name, Data, when they, at the very end of the movie, when they're interviewing him, you can hear Data say the octopus was the scariest part. I never knew what that was about. I just thought Data was just making up some kind of story. No, there was actually an octopus scene, and there was a chimpanzee, a zoo. Whenever Slaw he was in the sewer and he pushed those pipes up into the road, and you hear all the chaos and everybody crashing and everything. Apparently there was a part that was cut out that affected the zoo, and a bunch of zoo animals got out, and these chimpanzees were running around the town crazy and would show up in the movie here and there. And I seen a little clip of the chimpanzees driving a red Corvette. So it would have changed the whole movie. I'm glad they stuck with what they did. In Astoria, Oregon. Breakfast Club. Oh, Breakfast Club. Yes. And that's another movie that my daughter loves. My daughter's 23 and she loves the Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club was great. Rest in peace, John Hughes, the legend, for sure. For sure. And then I got into my Star Wars collection, which I had a bunch of these toys, and like any kid does, and I just ripped them out of the package and just played with them, broke a lot of them. But now, years later, like this whole collection down here, I had all the Jabba the Hutts. I had everything. Now my collection is very minimal. Wish I had that one. Did you guys collect anything as kids? I collected Star Wars, and then there was a game called Pogs, which lasted a few years. Pogs came out, and I was like the Pog master on my block. I had big old, they came in tubes, and I would have all these Pogs, and I think it was called a Stomper. They were the big Pogs, and honestly, I don't even remember how to play anymore, but I had a bunch of those Pogs. So I was born in 1985. It's weird because I think the 80's generation is old enough to appreciate the good things of the past, but still young enough to adapt to new technologies as they emerge to a degree. I think you are right on the money right there. Right on the money. That's why I say we're Gen X, Max. I would say we're Gen X. Let's see what else. What is this clip right here? This is the first Nintendo commercial. I do remember my first Nintendo. Got it for Christmas. I think I cried because I was just a kid. I wanted it so bad, and they tricked me. I opened up all my presents, and I was grateful. I got a BB gun or toys. And I'm like, cool, thank you. All I asked for was a Nintendo for all year, and then they pulled it out last minute and got the Nintendo, and that pretty much changed my whole gaming life right there. Yes, totally agree, Lazy. I see people calling some games that look amazing, and they call it trash. And movies too, like Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is useless. I don't go off Rotten Tomatoes. It's gotten so big now. Each movie has its own Rotten Tomato score. I don't trust them at all, because I've seen some movies that had a horrible Rotten Tomato score and then watched it, and I was like, that was a pretty damn good movie. Everybody has their own opinions on things. I do have a couple YouTubers that I watch, like 3C Films. He's a YouTuber I watch, and sometimes his opinions are great on movies, and sometimes he says, "Oh, this movie sucks," and I watch it and I like it. I like the old school cheesy horror type movies, and I don't know. It's like, do you know what I had to grow up with? A wonky, broken Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 8-bit NES game, which was the shit, actually. That Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game was awesome. Made by Ultra, that you couldn't technically beat because you had to have the Game Genie. Dude, I had the Game Genie too. What the hell is up with that? And then when Sega came out and we were able to play online with other people, I was able to use the Game Genie. I would cheat my ass off on the Game Genie online. Or Mega Man Black Mega Man back in the day. Oh my god, it was so hard, but so fun with friends taking turns. Mega Man, we used to play Mega Man. One of the best games that I enjoyed playing, because I have two younger brothers. Me and my two younger brothers, we stayed up for 2 days just taking turns beating this game. It was Metal Gear Solid. I'm not sure which one it was. one of the Metal Gear Solid games, because that was the actual one of the actual games that we actually ran through, watched every cutscene, didn't skip it, enjoyed the whole game. So Metal Gear Solid is one of my top games. That game is awesome. So here's the first Nintendo commercial. This is what started it all.
Will you be the one to witness the birth of the incredible Nintendo Entertainment System? The one to play with Rob, the extraordinary video robot, batteries not included. He helps you tackle even the toughest challenge. Will you be the first to raise the incredibly accurate Zapper and play games like Duck Hunt or action-packed Hogan's Alley and high-flying Kung Fu, each sold
Yeah,
separately?
I did.
Will you
He
be
had
the
the
one to
longest reach
experience the
with the bow
Nintendo
staff,
Entertainment
was
System?
second best.
Comes with Rob,
Yes,
Zapper,
exactly.
Control Deck, 2 controllers, Gyromite, and
Michelangelo
Duck
with no
Hunt.
reach of the nunchucks. Exactly, yeah. And he was clearly everyone's favorite turtle in the 80s. I know Michelangelo was the favorite turtle, and he sucked in the game.
Will you?
But this Nintendo, there was that robot. I don't know what that was. There was a robot that came with Nintendo. I've never seen it, but I do remember. Did anybody out there ever cheat at Duck Hunt? Because Duck Hunt, if you put the gun controller right to the screen and just pull the trigger, you would shoot the duck no matter what. And no matter where he's out on the screen, it would you'd shoot the duck. And I didn't know until recently. Recently, I think Five Nights at Freddy came out with some kind of game, or and it had a Duck Hunt part in it. But on the original Duck Hunt, the second player can't control the ducks. The second player controller, and we called them paddles. The second player paddle can control the ducks. I never knew that, and I really want to get a Nintendo now. I have I have two of, you can see the small Nintendo, looks like a Nintendo. It's got the built-in games. Yeah, the second player controller can control the ducks, and if you put that gun right to the screen, you're shooting those ducks no matter where they're at. Never had that dog laughing at me. Let's see. Then we had Mario Brothers come out, the OG of OGs.
The Mario Brothers are back in the all-new legacy action game Super Mario Brothers for Nintendo Entertainment System. Travel across land, sea, and sky in a never-ending action-packed adventure that will leave you glued to your seat. And you topple the terrible Koopa King and save the princess. Pick up a copy of Super Mario Brothers for Nintendo Entertainment System at your local toy store today and take on the challenge. Now you're playing with power.
Oh yeah, Nintendo had it all. Now you're playing with power back in the day. And I still want to go to the Nintendo land at Universal Studios. Last time we went was early February of last year, probably around the 9th or 11th, somewhere around then. And it didn't open yet. It was opening up late February. So I want to check that out. I actually want to watch the Mario Brothers movie. That looks really good to me. Let's see. Yeah, I know it's got to say that in the manual. I never read the Duck Hunt manual. I ripped that baby open so quick, I probably destroyed it. Or how about this, Chaka? The 3-game pack of Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, and Track and Field. Track and Field with the power pad. That's what I'm talking about. My grandma got me that for my birthday in 1987. I did have the Track and Field because I had the Power Glove. I had the Power Glove. We would play Mike Tyson, which was totally useless. And then I had this all in my room. My room was cool. And then my buddies would come over. I'd roll out that plastic track with the red and blue numbers on it. And you actually had to, make your character run. It wasn't really easy. Like, it wasn't the smoothest. Didn't work all the time. But you had to actually make your player run, jump hurdles, whatever you're doing. Track and Field was awesome. The Duck Hunt dog was my first bully experience. Yeah. And the cheat, as you would say, was to jump off the power pad. Yes, jump off the power pad. I would use my hands a lot. I would cheat any way possible. And when Nintendo came out, and if there was a cheat, I would find it. Now, remember the Contra cheat? Was that Nintendo? I don't know, but the up, down, left, right, BA select start for the infinite lives. And then I found out later on when I got a Sega, it's the same code for Sonic the Hedgehog to get infinite lives and do the long jump. Yeah, for sure. See, my first bully experience was actually bullies. God, it sucked. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Sorry to hear that. All through 2nd grade and 7th grade, bullies. That's horrible. So we got Super Mario Brothers. Out of all 3 Super Mario Brothers, the original Super Mario Brothers 2, I enjoyed the most. What do we got here? Okay, Now we're gonna get into some toys. I'm gonna fill you guys in on a little secret. I did have one of these growing up. It was a gift, but I did have a light bright, and they were awesome. It was I'll show you the commercial. The jingle, man. It's never gonna die. It's you're always
light bright, light bright. Turn on the magic of colored lights. Light bright, light bright. Make a face to glow at night. Smiling friends, shining bright. Make a sign to say goodnight.
Just pop in the colored pegs and follow the patterns. It's easy to make your favorite pictures and characters, or you can always create your own light pictures.
Light bright. Turn on the magic of shining lights.
Awesome. I'm gonna get copyrighted for a light bright commercial, but I used to have one of those and they were fun. You put the black piece of paper on these little machine that had lights behind it, and all you're doing is putting in colored pegs, and they were transparent colored pegs, and the light would shine through. Simple, and I love that thing. That thing was awesome. Let's see, all through second grade, but never ever cheat on an online first person shooter with other players. If you do that, you're a POS. It's the unforgivable sin. Maybe that's why they got rid of Game Genie. Game Genie, was still out. I probably would. I remember that. Never had one. Yeah, I had a light bright. There's another toy I had that was similar to this, but light bright is one I remember that I kept getting different pegs, different patterns, and that was a big one for me. I really enjoyed the light bright. Let's see what other video I pulled up here. Oh, and my He-Man collection. So I had Star Wars. I had my Pogs. I had Garbage Pail Kids. I had a bunch of Garbage Pail Kids cards. But the one I really over the Star Wars, I wish I had my He-Man collection, because I had all the He-Mans. My sons know that I want, that I still miss it. They bought me a bunch. I have them up on my wall. I got Orko, He-Man, Skeletor, a bunch of different little mini figurines that they bought me because they know, I think it got stolen. Our house got robbed when I was younger, and they took my He-Man set. That's the last time I remember it. So they had to have took my He-Man set. This is the old He-Man commercial. I had this whole castle. I had all these figurines.
It's Castle Grayskull. And it's mine.
Not so fast, Beast Man.
He-Man!
You can pit He-Man against Beastman, playing for the power of Castle Grayskull. You have to put the castle together. Beastman's escaping.
The throne, Dad. Dad, you saved the castle.
Castle Grayskull from the Masters of the Universe collection. He-Man and Beastman, each sold separately from Mattel.
Oh, I definitely had that Castle of Grayskull. I had the He-Man. I had a bunch of different. I had a lot of the characters. So you want to hear something funny? In the first grade, I kind of struggled with my communication skills. I wanted an Optimus Prime Transformer for Christmas. Nice. My dad had no idea what the hell I wanted. So he went to Toys R Us. Oh, man, Toys R Us. Wish they still had that. So they went to Toys R Us and bought a Transformer, Winnebago Transformer. I was so disappointed. It's like, oh, man, you're expecting Optimus Prime, this nice diesel truck, and you get a Winnebago. Acted like I loved it because it was the thought that counted. Yes. And he probably had no idea. He wants a Transformer. He goes to Toys R Us. Hey, where's your guys' Transformers? They're right there. All right. Give him this Winnebago. I don't even know what the name of that Transformer is, the Winnebago Transformer. And then we had, oh, shit, man. You guys remember these? Mad Balls. I had all these.
Gross for one, gross for all. We play with
Mad Balls.
Mad Ball. They're gross, funny, yucky, sick. There's 8, so you can take your pick. We throw, catch, it's fun. There's so much gross in every one. Freaky fun is what they're for. There's so much ugly, so much more. Gross for one, gross for all. We play with a Mad Ball. We play with a Mad Ball. We play with a Mad Ball. Mad Ball.
Freaky fun for everyone, sold separately from Amtoy.
Mad Ball.
Yeah, Mad Balls. You don't see those around anywhere, man. Acting like I loved it. Yeah. Winnebago Transformer it was. Yeah, the Mad Balls. I actually, I think those would be popular if they came back out. The Mad Balls collection. A lot of these toys I wish I didn't destroy, but I was pretty destructive with a lot of my stuff. Let's see, 80s commercials. There were some 80s commercials that are, still around, still use the same jingle. And this is one of them. I always remember these ones. I remember this one. Oh, maybe this isn't. Oh yeah, it is. Definitely getting copyrighted for this bad boy.
Take a sniff, pull it out. The taste is gonna move you when you pop it in your mouth. Juicy fruit.
That's right.
It's gonna move you. It juices soft. It gets right to you. Juicy fruit. The taste is gonna move you.
Yes, that just gets better every time I hear it. So that's pretty much all I got. The wifey came up with, this idea yesterday. We were just going down talking about our childhood and different stuff we had. These are just a bunch of 80s movie or shows that were on around the 80s. I think I've watched just about all of them. I never watched Mystery Science Theater, Saved by the Bell. I watched that. Never watched Police Squad. I did watch, there was a movie, Police Academy. Tales from the Crypt scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. I actually had a Steve Urkel, a talking Steve Urkel doll. You would pull the string and be like, "Did I do that?" and say all his quotes. Tales from the Dark Side. I even watched Murphy Brown. Out of all these, I think I watched Mama's Family the most because we didn't have cable, and so Mama's Family was always on like channel 17 or something like that. And it was one of the ones that came in. So I always watched Mama's Family. It was a good ass show, man. I remember Juicy Fruit commercials. One, especially the one with the water skiers. My friend and I would say, "Juicy Fruit, it's gonna moon ya." That's funny. And we would moon people on the back of the bus. It was bad. Hey, kids will be kids. Yeah, kids will be kids. Coach, I watched Coach, Charles in Charge. That was cool. Silver Spoons. Yeah, a lot of these shows are getting redone nowadays because, like I said earlier, the 80s just had, I think the 80s and 90s had the best shows. God, remember Webster? The best shows, the best everything. Eddie T, what is up? What is up? We were just going down the rabbit hole talking about the 80s, 90s. Different stuff when we were kids. We went over VCRs, renting VCRs, the Nintendo Game Boy, just old toys, and just hanging out talking about. I'm 41 years old, so I grew up in the 80s. So we're just reminiscing a little bit. Growing Pains. Growing Pains is great. Growing Pains is great. Oh, Max Headroom. I don't remember what that was about, but I used to watch that all the time. Too Close for Comfort. All these I did watch. I never watched Amen, but I did watch the Jeffersons a lot. I didn't even know what Amen was. Well, what I used to watch on it was called Kids Incorporated. I used to watch Kids Incorporated when I was younger. It was about I don't know if it was Disney Channel. I think it was Disney Channel or Nickelodeon. Kids Incorporated, Family Ties, and then Double Dare. I used to watch Double Dare on Nickelodeon a lot. That was a great show. Speaking of NES, constantly having to blow on the cartridge to make it work. Yeah, blow on the cartridge. I would get Q-tips, dip them in alcohol. I probably totally ruined the game. I would get Q-tips, put them in rubbing alcohol, and I would clean the little cartridge on the inside with rubbing alcohol, which probably destroyed it, but made it work. I don't know how many times I beat the crap out of my Nintendo trying to get that thing to start. Couldn't get the cartridge to play, and I would bang the top, and finally it start going. So I was like, "Oh, cool! I fixed it." Let's see what else we got here. It's a living. I don't know what that is. What was Mad TV? I wonder if was Mad TV in the 80s? Nah, that was 90s. Maybe even later than that. I didn't know you're 41. I'm class of 99, dude. Graduated 99. I turned 42 here soon in May 12th. My birthday's on May 6th. So I am 6 days older than you. So you're either also class of 99 or you're class of 2000. Class of 99, Birthday's May 6th, born 1981. Started off young because I got a 23-year-old, I got a 20-year-old, I have a 17-year-old, and I have a 12-year-old. Right out of high school, I was like, hey, who needs freedom? Let's go ahead and get this adulthood started. Yeah, so the Game Boy. Did you ever have the Sega system? Anybody out there ever have the Sega system? Because I remember, I believe that the Sega system wasn't the CD yet, because the Sega Genesis is when the CD game started, and that's back when like Mortal Kombat was huge. Mortal Kombat was a big game for me and my one of my younger brothers. We used to walk all the way across town with 75 cents to a 7-Eleven, literally across. Back in my day, we used to walk all the way across town just to play 75 cents worth of Mortal Kombat. We got so good at that game. Remember that show called You Can't Say That on Television? Yes, I do. I don't remember what it was about, but I remember that show. And the reruns on Nickelodeon. Yes, Nickelodeon was awesome. Holy shit, Juicy Fruit. Dude, I'm telling you, that was the shit. What other commercials do I have? I got to pull up. That was just like a commercial compilation, and I saw the Juicy Fruit commercial. I was like, oh, that's it. 80's commercials. Let's see what other ones we got on here.
When you compare the number of nutrients in each of
soybeans.
Nature's soybean helps make butter flavor Pam cook.
First on you again. Matthew wants to be a rock star.
A drummer.
Can Dad pound some sand?
Taste. You are
hot.
Department and the Pentagon told NBC News it was a little bigger than a routine raid.
Oh, the McDonald's commercials were always awesome.
Together we can make it the best run yet.
I'm definitely gonna get copyrighted over commercials. Hey, what up,
when
Steve?
It all comes together, it's not just good, it's awesome.
Oh, it's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's. New McDLT.
What the hell is the McDLT? I've never seen a McDLT. Milky Way commercials. I remember all the candy commercials. Oh, hey, fellow humans, what is going on? Steve Canadian in the house. When they would say, I don't know, somebody would release a lever and dump slime on their heads. Yeah, that's why I like that Double Dare. The Double Dare show with the, that's where they would, it was like teams. Usually like parents and the kids would team up and they would have to go through an obstacle course and jump through slime and find different things. Yeah, that was pretty cool. The Sega CD came out before the PlayStation did, I believe. Yeah, well, I think so. Well, I had one before the PlayStation came. I don't know which one came out first, but I did have the Sega CD. I had the Sega system first, and the Sega system was actually really fun. It was really cool to have some really cool games.
Helps you work, rest, and play.
I'm very proud to be me. If I'm the best me that
I know one of you guys had a Teddy Ruxpin. Yes, you are right. Chaka, you need to watch Mystery Science Theater. So funny if you're in the right mindset. Oh, I see what you're saying, in the right mindset. But I do. I got to check it out. That's one show I have not seen. Definitely going to check it out. I had a Sega CD. Yeah, I think Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and all those were the popular games back when the Sega CD came out. What a rare gem no one liked. The Sega CD. I thought it was cool, man. I thought it was cool. Hell yeah, the big and tasty. Or maybe you're talking about the McDLT. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what the hell the McDLT is. Never heard of it. McDonald's has came out with some weird stuff throughout the years, and the one that stuck was the McRib. I do remember the big and tasty. I didn't know that was that McDonald's? Yeah, I guess it was. I wish they never got rid of that. That and I don't know what that is. The Arch Deluxe. Maybe I did have the Arch Deluxe. I don't know. Double Dare was after you. Okay, maybe that's why I seen it. Because do you remember Saturday morning cartoons where I would get up super early, have my bowl of whatever cereal, usually something that is all sugar, and sit there and watch the Saturday morning cartoons. I got to get up early to watch my Ninja Turtles, my He-Man. I miss McDonald's. What? McDonald's pizza? I mean, it's 7-Eleven pizza, but it had that McDonald's branding, and that changed the flavor. I'm pretty sure the branding did change. I did not know that McDonald's had a pizza. I knew 7-Eleven did, because we went on a family trip. I think we went to Sacramento. We were in Sacramento, somewhere downtown, and they had this big ass 7-Eleven. And I ordered a whole 7-Eleven pizza for like $9. Kids loved it. It was actually okay. Yeah, McDonald's had pizza, the McPizza. Did they call it the McPizza? Bacon Smokehouse. Yeah, McDonald's had some pretty delicious stuff, and I'm sure it was all healthy. I also had a Sega Genesis and had the Sega 32X. That came out after the Sega Genesis, right? That would hook up to the top of the Genesis. It was weird and so not worth it. What the hell was a Sega 32X? I'm gonna have to look that up. Sega Genesis and the Sega 32X. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm sure I saw it when I was a kid. Arby's Tacos. What? Now you're just talking crazy. Arby's Tacos. You know who has good tacos? Burger King. Burger King tacos are the shit. They're like 2 for $1. Burger King tacos are awesome if you like fast food tacos. Believe it or not, Burger King has tacos and they're amazing. Oh, hell yeah. Saturday morning cartoons and the Disney afternoon was epic in the 90s. Yes, sir. The original Supreme Taco before Taco Bell existed. So Arby's had the original Supreme Taco before Taco Bell existed. I'm learning so much today. DuckTales, Chippendales, Rescue Rangers, Tailspin. Darkwing Duck was probably my favorite. And the Goof Troop. Goof Troop, Darkwing Duck. I really like Tailspin, Chippendales. Did you watch the new Chippendales movie? It was pretty good. Kind of takes you back, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of the old characters kind of redone. The Chippendales movie was good. I recommend that one. Arby's in Colorado still has tacos. That's so weird. I mean, I guess I'd believe it because Burger King has tacos. I'm telling you, if you haven't had the Burger King tacos, go get you some Burger King tacos. Sega Genesis and Nintendo both had Mortal Kombat. Wait, Nintendo had Mortal Kombat too? Super Nintendo probably had Mortal Kombat, but Sega showed the blood, but Nintendo did not. Yes, that helped Sega become more popular. Yeah, I remember that. And then there was a setting on Mortal Kombat because it was getting so much backlash from like the parents that you turn the blood off. Mortal Kombat was awesome. Dude, Burger King tacos are exactly what Arby's tacos were. Okay, cool. Yeah, then hell yeah, Arby's tacos had been good then. It's a throwback. Nice. It was technically a big leap, the 32X, because nobody had a 32-bit yet. Okay, a couple of years later, Sony came out with the PS1, obviously. All right, so yeah, I did get the PlayStation 1. Never had no issues with my PlayStation 1. Never had no issues with my Sega Genesis at all. The games always played. It was a huge jump from Nintendo. I think I went to Nintendo. Well, I had an Atari, and I went to Nintendo, to a Sega system, to a Sega Genesis, to a PlayStation, and then I think I got the Super Nintendo, because I had a Super Nintendo and a Sega Genesis at the same time, and I really liked Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo, the Donkey Kong, what was it called? Donkey Kong Land and the Mario Brothers. The way that the graphics were, it wasn't quite 2D. It was a little bit more 3D-ish. Oh my God, Teddy Ruxpin. Yes. You had a Teddy Ruxpin, didn't you? I had a Teddy Ruxpin. Max, I loved Rescue Rangers. I had a Teddy Ruxpin and I had that Caterpillar. I had so many toys. Screw that bear. Were you scared of the Teddy Ruxpin as a kid? You ate Kaplan data. You ate Kaplan. Let's see here. We got right on about to take a trip. Get high in Colorado and eat tacos till I die. Hey, enjoy. Saying parents who didn't want us to listen to NWA or other gangster rap. Instead, we all found ways to buy it and listen to it. I had, oh God. Yes, I had all that stuff. I had all that. Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn was the first disc, I thought. I forgot about Sega Saturn. I think everybody forgot about Sega Saturn. That didn't last long at all. The Sega Saturn. Then there was another one, the Tiger or something. I don't remember that there was its competition at the time was like something that had a tiger on the logo. That was the competition for the Sega CD. Streets of Rage, Battle Axe on Sega Genesis, yes, and then Altered Beast. What do you guys know about Altered Beast? Altered Beast was a cool game. If you want to see the biggest waste of time of drunk devs who ruined the adventure of Link, Legends of Zelda, Phillips. If you want to see the biggest waste of time of drunk devs who ruined the adventures of Link, Legend of Zelda, 1993, 1994, Philips CDI. Is that a Philips CDI? Is that a game? Is that? Yep, great games. There, Platino. I had those Sega Genesis. Yes, a lot of good games. I forgot about Link. I forgot about the Legend of Zelda games. And some of these commercials crack me up. They're so cheesy. And I got to hear the Juicy Fruit one more time.
Get your skis shined up, grab a stick of juicy fruit. The taste is gonna move ya. Take a sniff, pull it
Look it up,
out.
so bad. I'll check it out right now.
The taste is gonna move ya when you pop
Philips
it in your
CDI is an
mouth.
expensive data system.
Juicy fruit is gonna move ya.
I got to hear the whole thing
Juicy
out. I can't
salt,
just cut this
it's
off.
right to ya. Juicy
I got to hear
fruit,
this greatness.
the taste is gonna move ya.
Yeah, you can't pinch it off during the middle. It stings. I had to hear the whole thing. Okay, so Philips CDI. What the heck is this thing? The Philips CDI game console? Any videos on this? The Philips CDI multimedia future that never was. Oh, this? I seen this. Yeah, the animated. Yes, that was freaking horrible. Is this what you're talking about right here, Max? Yes, that was horrible. Saturday morning cartoons, the biggest thing kids these days will never get to experience because they have it all at their fingertips. You had to wait for Saturday mornings and had to be up in time, talk about patience and discipline. Yes. And that also taught you to get up, make your own breakfast, do what you had to do. You did it all yourself because your parents were asleep. I still remember every word of that song, the Juicy Fruit song. I don't know why that was probably one of the best jingles out there. I should have forgot about Philips. I never played it, but I have seen this, and god dang, it's horrible. It is horrible. Oh man, that's funny. Congress ruined Saturday morning cartoons. Not only Saturday mornings, I remember we had TGIF, Thank God It's Friday, where I would watch like Family Matters, the Steve Urkel, get some Steve Urkel action, and then Full House. All those shows were like on TGIF. The Simpsons, Simpsons was always Mondays, I think. Man, I used to wake up early every Saturday for G.I. Joe and Thundercats. Thundercats. Yes, G.I. Joe was cool. I like G.I. Joe, but Thundercats was the shit. I really like Thundercats. Don't believe me? Look it up. The game is... Yeah, this is the game right here. Yeah, Congress did that? I'm not sure. Somebody did it. They ruined Saturday morning cartoons. Let's see. Part of their initiative at the time is to give us educational content. What are they talking about?
It is written, only Link can defeat Ganon. Great, I'll grab my stuff.
Oh, that's horrible.
There is no time. Your sword is enough. How about a kiss for luck?
You've got to be kidding.
Squadala, we are off.
Squadala. That is horrible. Look it up on Wikipedia. Long write up about it. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Congress ruining Saturday morning cartoons? I remember TGIF. Yes, TGIF. Boy Meets World. Boy Meets World was another one. That's Fred Savage's younger brother. Those two, the Savage brothers, put out some great movies back in the day and shows. After school specials. I remember the after school specials. Oh my God. Yes, Boy Meets World. Was it Topanga? Was Topanga on Boy Meets World? Because I think that was her name, Topanga. Oh, yeah, back in the day. I remember Topanga. and the creepy horror, the Crypt Keeper, Saturday nights. That was a family thing for us, Platano. We would get together to watch Tales from the Crypt. We would get together to watch Tales from the Crypt, and every time that Crypt Keeper popped up from the grave. Oh, what you got? What is it? Iced coffee?
Black coffee.
Thank you, man. My son went out and got me some. Where's it from? Some Dutch Bros iced coffee. Yeah, every time that Crypt Keeper would jump out with that laugh, it would scare the crap out of me. Every guy wanted Topanga. Topanga was the source of every boy's wet dream. Topanga and, oh God, who was in the Wonder Years? What was her name? Wendy? Was it Wendy? Yes, Congress. Now I'm going to have to look that up. That's very interesting. I didn't know that. Yes, Chaka. Us too. The entire fam. And we used to go to my grandma's house because my grandma had the big screen TV at the time. And we would watch Tales from the Crypt. And that just reminded me when I said we used to all go together and watch movies in my grandma's house. At one time, I think it was TGIF. They had a special. It was Smell-O-Vision. It was Smell-O-Vision. You had to go to 7-Eleven and pick up these cards for the special TGIF. I think it was TGIF. And it was Smell-O-Vision. Literally, it would tell you when to scratch a little section off, and you would smell it, and you would smell what they smell on screen. Like the dude's cooking, they're cooking a pie, you would scratch it, and all right, I can smell the pie. That was the weirdest thing. That was the weirdest thing. I remember that. That Zelda game, oh my God, so bad. I don't even remember hearing about the Philips CDI. That was very, very interesting, though. Maybe that's why I had no desire to check it out. That's just crazy looking. Crazy. Well, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, going back in time, reminiscing on the 80s. I'll go ahead and play this real quick. Might be a little loud. Cover your ears. Oh, yes. It ended already. Let's start this bad boy. Got to jump off pretty soon because I got to go on a walk with the wifey. A game I always wanted but didn't want to spend $500 for the system as a kid was the Panasonic Real 3DO. The game is called Way of the Warrior, more bloodier than Mortal Kombat. Really, let me look that up. The Panasonic 3DO. I remember, oh God, what was it called? There was another one that was just as bloody as Mortal Kombat. Panasonic Real 3DO. Panasonic 3DO. What was the game called? Way of the Warrior? Oh my God, that looks just like Mortal Kombat. Is this the one right here? Is this Way of the Warrior right here? 3DO, another one I couldn't afford. This looks just like the old school Mortal Kombat. That's crazy. Never heard of that one. Neo Geo. That's what I was talking about. Isn't their logo a tiger or something like that? Neo Geo was the big competition of Sega that I remember back in the day. I know the Nintendo was only $100 or like $200 at the time when they first came out, $100 or $200. Now you can't even find a Nintendo for $100 or $200. It's like I'm a kid. Not enough damn lawns to mow for that crap. Yes. Yep, that's it. That is crazy how much it looks like Mortal Kombat. Geo, dude, I'd forgotten how many game systems. Dude, there were a bunch. They really, you got bombarded with game systems. Yes, the Way of the Warrior. Mama Sita in the house. What's up? What's up, Mama? That's the wifey right there. She said, "Hi, boo." Well, hey, call me. I stuck to Nintendo systems until PlayStation came out. See, I went from Nintendo. I got Nintendo. I went to Sega, and then I jumped over to PlayStation. Same here. Did this come out before? Yeah, I'm curious. Do you know, Max? Did it come out before Mortal Kombat? Oh yeah. Now I want to play this game. I want to find this game. I want to play it. PS1 32 graphics were better than the N64 64 graphic because Sony was digital technology and Nintendo was still using analog cartridges. I didn't really like the N64. What about GameCube? Did you guys get a GameCube? I never got a GameCube. My cousins did. I didn't really. I think that's the first time I played one of the Donkey Kong games. I think it came out on GameCube. Plus cartridges cost $70. I'm gonna try this coffee out. Dutch Brothers coffee. We just got new Dutch Brothers. Not bad, not bad. And PS1 game discs, games on disc cost only $40. So better graphics, lower cost. Sony knew what they were doing. No, after, okay. Yeah, it had to have been after because I was like, Mortal Kombat. Wouldn't steal this idea, I don't think. Way after. But it was arcade style graphics in 1994. Way ahead of its time. But as a kid, we couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford anything. I had to ditch school to rent video games on my dad's account and hide them under the house. I don't even know if I ever told him that story. That's funny. But everyone I knew wanted this game. I do remember hearing about Way of the Warrior. I don't think I ever watched the game. N64, all my friends wanted to borrow mine because of the GoldenEye. Oh, shit, yeah, GoldenEye. It's Nitro Brew. What's Nitro Brew? This right here is Nitro Brew, babe? It's really good. What did you get? Man, Nitro Brew. It's going to run right through me. But at the time, I started to move on to PC and never looked back. My first PC game, and since the wifey's in the chat, she can vouch for me. I played World of Warcraft. That's really my first big one. I played little ones, Call of Duty, little here and there PC games. But the big one that I really got hooked on was World of Warcraft. I played it day and night. I would call into work to play that damn game. I had to quit. I totally got addicted. It was a real thing. I was addicted to World of Warcraft. I could not get off that damn game. I was like what do they call it? Like a hermit. My uncle would come by and check on me, and I've beard, Cheeto marks across my shirt, and I'm just deep into World of Warcraft. GoldenEye was a classic. GoldenEye was awesome. That's what started all of those like first person. In my opinion, for me, the GoldenEye is what started like my love for first person shooters. That was the shit. We would still play in the barbershops. Damn, that's a good barbershop. You had GoldenEye in the barbershops? Oh, speaking of that, you guys remember Excitebike? As a kid, I used to have the full size arcade of Excitebike. Wish I would still have that. That's one thing I wish I still had also. I had the full arcade of Excitebike. I don't know where I got it or how I got it. I think my grandpa gave it to me, but that was awesome. Konatori on your screen, Chaka, sounds like a meme token. ERC20 garbage crap token. Konatori? Was that a person that I missed? LOL. Let's see. Mamacita. Nitro Brew with cream. Nice. Like me some Dutch Brothers. Name of that? Way of the Warrior character. Konatori. Well, hello, Miss Chaka. Just throwing up little waves. Yes, World of Warcraft was war crack for sure, man. And then we got Jay in the house. That's my son. This is my oldest boy, Diablo. Actually, I played Diablo on PC. I think it was the best because you can actually earn money. I didn't earn any money, but you can actually earn money because they had a shop in-game shop that you can, if you find rare items, you can put them up for sale, and people could actually buy them. So I played a lot of Diablo. I can't wait for the new one to come out because I'm going to play that Diablo, World of Warcraft. My wife said that damn game. Yeah, she probably hates that game. But now I got my younger son. He's asking about it. I might start up some World of Warcraft. Never got on PC. Unfortunately, I was stuck on Xbox. I didn't want to get off these game systems. Yes. I mean, and they kept getting better and better and better. and even to this day, I'm not a very good PC gamer. I can't get used to the keyboard, playing a game with the keyboard with the WASD and moving that way. I always got to figure out a way to hook up an Xbox controller. I think nowadays I haven't got a PS5. I haven't got a PlayStation, a new PlayStation forever. I think Xbox is my style. I'm sticking to Xbox. Beachhead Shark Island. Oh, that reminds me. I don't know what Beachhead Shark Island is. If that's a game, I haven't played that one. But that reminded me of the CNC Surf game that was on Nintendo, I believe, like a skateboarding and surf game. And I think CNC Factory was a brand back then, and they came out with a game. But that game was awesome. Commander Chris, what is up? If anybody in the chat does not know, Commander Chris came up on one of my. I was playing a Star Wars Old Republic game. Commander Chris popped in to say what's up. This dude makes stop motion. I went over to his YouTube channel. He has a YouTube channel where he makes stop motion videos of Star Wars, and it's pretty impressive. This dude does some pretty impressive stuff with stop motion. When I first checked it out, I was like, oh, I'll go check out your stop motion. I was thinking it's just going to be, like just a quick little stop motion. No, it's like a whole production. It looks like there's green screen. He's got drawings, different, animations on there. So Commander Chris, welcome back. This dude puts on some great stop screen films on his YouTube. Check him out if you are into that. Crypto Talk now. I was only pro at 2 games in my life. Medal of Honor, nice. Allied Assault, and GoldenEye. What about, did you ever play Tecmo Bowl? Tecmo Bowl was the ish. Tecmo Bowl, dude. We used to have Tecmo Bowl tournaments. My uncle is from North Carolina. He came down here to play football, and he played for the college down here. So we used to go. He used to bring me into his college dorms with all the other football players, and we would have these massive Tecmo Bowl tournaments. They were so much fun. And then, of course, John Madden football. John Madden, and then Joe Montana came out. Then John Madden pretty much dominated everybody. Medal of Honor. The only problem was no streaming services on esports back then. Yes, that's what's up. Crypto Talk won a total of $230 in GoldenEye. Competed in a city league with the schools. Wow, that's a good school. They did a GoldenEye tournament. It was club competition. That's awesome. I was never that good, no matter how much I played. Big Bang Blitz. What is this? I don't even know what's playing on in the background right now. Different games, I guess. And with MOHAA, I want a brand new processor. What is MOHAA? I want a brand new processor and an AMD Athlon XP 2500 Barton, worth at the time $250. That's awesome. I took people's money in Street Fighter. Now, Street Fighter, who'd you pick, Platino? I was either Ryu or Ken. That was my go-to. If I'm because back where I'm from, back in my day, when we had to walk to the 7-Eleven to play, because that was the only place that had Street Fighter. They had Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and another game I can't remember. But anyways, you would have to put your quarter up on the screen to say you got next, and it was just like you would talk crap to dude. Are you right? And we start playing, and I would always pick Ryu, but it was your goal to stay there and start beating everybody that was in line. But I remember putting your quarters on there as like a placeholder. My older brother would bring in the hood to play me and took a cut of the winnings. That's what I'm talking about. Take on the whole block. Beachhead is like Call of Duty. Interesting. Beachhead. I'm going to check it out. Laundromat arcades. Yes, laundromat arcades. I remember the laundromat arcades always had the sit-down Miss Pac-Man. The sit-down Miss Pac-Man where you had to sit. You would sit there. That's the first time I've seen that ever, like a sit-down Miss Pac-Man. And it was like a 3-in-1 game. It was probably like Gallic, one of the space games. And then, but I remember the sit-down Miss Pac-Man. It was like a table. And laundromat arcades always had the cool games. Usually they were always broken though. Thanks, man. Yeah, dude, you deserve it. Put a lot of work into those videos. Galaga, yeah, it was like Galaga, stuff like that. And Galaga, we went to, god dang, Mamacita, if you're still in the chat, where did we go at Rosarito Beach? Redondo Beach had a huge arcade, and I think it's shut down now, but it was a Galaga game, and it was the whole wall. It was a whole wall. It's huge. And you would sit there and play Galaga. That was pretty cool. Yes, of course. Super Tecmo Bowl. 85 Bears were the best. What about Thurman Thomas was unbeatable. The Terminator. Thurman Thomas and the Buffalo Bills Tecmo Bowl. That was my go-to. Who didn't play Tecmo Bowl, man? I know. Tecmo Bowl was awesome. I'll set something up on Twitter when I feel better. Cool. The Bears. Laundromat arcades for sure, yes. But if you're talking arcade, love super high impact football. If you sack the opposing player, this guy would come screaming out of the screen and say, "Rawr, I eat quarterbacks for breakfast." I remember that game. Yeah, but I like the blitz games and stuff like that, where it was like super extreme football. You don't just tackle the dude, you're like suplexing them. I'm late. Can we start the stream over? Yeah, we'll start from the beginning for Shaman. Let's go do it. Let's run it back. Let's run it back. Welcome, Shaman. We're just taking it back. Reminiscing on some kind of got on a games kick, talking about old school games when we grew up in the 80s and 90s, went through shows, went through a lot of stuff. Crypto Talk now saying what up to Shaman. Hey Max, Ryu is a beast. I use him. I'd rather use him than Ken because Ryu's like super, Hadouken was awesome, and Ken didn't have that. He just had that uppercut, that spinning uppercut, which I thought was it's all right. Remember playing the Pit in MK1 and forcing yourself to be a tryhard and got 2 flawless victories and uppercutted the opposing player. Yes, I remember all that stuff. Was it MK1 where Reptile was like the secret character? Is that he fought down there in the pit? Was it Reptile? Into the pit so you could then play. Yeah, it was Reptile. Green Ninja at the bottom of the pit. I had it right there on the screen. My fave was Guile. But when playing for money, Blanca all day, cheesy as fuck. Were you that guy? Just sit there and electrocute and then do that damn rolling thing. I had that Blanca character and E Honda. I hated playing against dudes like that because E Honda, they sat there doing the and then they'd shoot across. E Honda had the same thing where he'd shoot across the screen. Yeah, the torpedo electricity uppercuts from the ground all day. The green ninja word. Oh man, the green ninja word. Green ninja word. That's on top. Yeah, it was Reptile. How about Ninja Gaiden or Gaiden, however people say it? I always called it Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden was cool. The OG. They have new ones out now. They're not the same, Jay. You got to stick with the OG. I still like Altered Beast. Altered Beast was fun. Now, if they redid that game, maybe I'll check it out. Little known fact, I've been writing a book on my experiences of my childhood and arcades, fictionalized. That would be very interesting if that story about you being in the theater and the theater catching on fire is in there. That is funny. That is something that you would see on like a Wonder Years episode or some shit like that. That is funny. But competing against other players at the arcades were some of the best fun experiences of my life. Wouldn't trade it for anything. I pissed a lot of people off playing in the arcades. I'm not bad when it comes to like Street Fighter and stuff like that. Hell yeah, Ninja Gaiden, all those games were fun. Shaman saying Marvel vs. Capcom, which was probably one of the best too. I remember I always picked because Ryu was on there, and then Wolverine, and then some random ass character that I never knew how to control. I don't know what this is. Oh, Clay Fighters. You guys remember Clay Fighters? I think this is Clay Fighters. I think Clay Fighters was one of the... Yeah, it is Clay Fighters. This is one of the games that was pretty badass too. I don't remember what it was on, but the characters were cool. I want to say Sega maybe? Or it could have been Neo Geo, but I remember playing Clay... I had this game. I remember playing Clay Fighters a lot. The arcade experience truly was awesome. Got into a couple fights over it too. I could see that. I could see that pissing people off because you're cheesing. And why is it called cheesing? Cheesing, because I used to do that with Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat. It would be sweep the leg, and then I'd do that bicycle kick, sweep the leg, fireball. I would cheese all day long in the OG Mortal Kombat at the arcade. Killer Instinct. Yes, that's the one I was thinking about earlier. It was Killer Instinct. It was on the tip of my tongue. I remember when Killer Instinct and Ultimate MK3 first came out, especially Killer Instinct. Yep. Killer Instinct was the game I was trying to think about earlier. I just recently, a couple months ago, I downloaded the Killer Instinct on Xbox, the newest one. They kind of redid it. It's still good. Killer Instinct's still good, but it's not going to get that much traction because Mortal Kombat came so far. The Mortal Kombat games now are just amazing. Killer Instinct was groundbreaking because it was the first game to implement a combo. Remember that super combo? I remember that. I want to look up Killer Instinct now. So this is let's see if I just want to hear some of the gameplay.
Instinct.
Oh, he must have got copyrighted because this is Wolverine or Omega Red and Juggernaut or Hulk was my best. Omega Red, I think that's the dude. Yeah, I think I picked Omega Red quite a bit. Yeah, you're right. You used to be able to do some crazy combos on Killer Instinct. And the dude kept getting more excited. Monster combo. Twisted Metal. That's another good one. There's so many good games. Did you know that they're making a Twisted Metal show or movie? It's in the makings right now. I want to say it's the Bloomhouse. And if they do it right, that's going to be sick. Because I think I've beaten Twisted Metal. Maybe it was the PlayStation one. I think I've beaten it with every character, and the stories are great. Whoever wrote the stories for those characters were great, and then also the characters were awesome too. But it's a dark game. I really like it, and I hope they do the live action show or movie. I hope they give it justice. Killer Instinct was a game changer for sure. Lots of lines waiting to play. Both Killer Instinct and Ultimate MK3. Now, Ultimate MK3, was that the one where you can for the first time like had tons of different characters? One of them you can pick Goro for the first time. I don't know if that was MK3 or not. Killer combo. Ultra combo. Yeah, that shit was funny. Whoa, the sound effects on that. Then we should all find a way to virtually link up and play classics. Dude, we could. Like, if you guys want to play Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat, any of that stuff, you can play them all online now. You can play them all online. I mean, I know on Xbox. I don't have a PlayStation, but if you guys are down to play some Xbox, whatever, shoot, I'm down. Count me in. What was the fighting game where you can turn into animals? Where you can turn into animals? Okay, you had Killer Instinct. Beast Wars? Was it Beast Wars? Let me see. I think it was Beast Wars. I'm not sure. No, it's Transformers. I could be wrong. I know what you're talking about, though. Yes, like a mole, a tiger. I do. I really think it was called Beast Wars. There was a gorilla on there. But I remember, no, the lion. The lion was like the big character. I remember that. Where did I leave off? Yeah, mole. Chocolate when I was a kid, and you also being class of '99, we would have been homies for sure, brother. No doubt about it. Oh, for sure, man. I would. When I was in high school, I was friends with everybody. Anyways, I was friends with everybody. Yeah, Parsec. What is Parsec? Bloody Roar. Is that the name of it? Bloody Roar. Yeah, it's this one. That was cool. I don't know if this is a newer one. This is probably a newer one. Is this it? It is it. Yeah, this game was cool too, man. Yes, lots of MK characters. Yeah, I know one of those was just like overloaded, like Rain, Ermac. Ermac is one of my favorite characters too. High school class of '99. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. We're all class of '99, baby. So that would be badass. We all get together, play some. I'll get down on some Mortal Kombat. Probably embarrass you guys on some Street Fighter. Yeah, it's good. Thank you. Let me try it.
This is no cream.
This is cream?
No sugar. I put stevia in there.
Oh, it's good. Let's see. Oh shit, I'm gonna check it out. That was Primal Fury. Primal Fury. No, Primal Fury is where you turn to dinosaurs. Oh, thanks, babe. Yeah, Primal Fury, I believe you turn to dinosaurs. Because I remember that one too. Let me see. I guess I'm wrong. Oh, Bloody Roar. Oh, Primal Rage. Primal Rage? I remember this one. Yeah, because you turned to... you were dinosaurs. I remember this one. That was a great game. Yeah, you could play as dinosaurs. Bloody Roar is the one I was thinking of. Okay. I'm kind of falling behind my chat. Forgot all about Primal. This one's called Primal Fury, but it says Primal Rage down here. I don't remember the name of it, but this is the game. I used to play that one all the time too. Fatal Fury was another one. Fatal Fury. I did remember that one. Because I used to play as this dude with the red hat. Don't remember his name, but I guess one of the Ryu character of that game. He had like a red cap on. Call of Duty Black Ops, Tundra, LW3, Tundra Royale, Cross 4X, Pun. Watch the first 2 minutes. All right, let's check it out. Call of Duty. Black Ops. War. LW3 Tundra. Oil. And Cross. 4X. LW3 Tundra. First 2 minutes. Back when games were awesome. Oh, that's right. Primal Rage, not Fury. My bad. Okay. Oh yeah, getting names mixed up. I mean, there were so many at that time. Oh shit, this looks clean. Is this Did you want me to watch the first 2 minutes? Is this you playing, or just the game in general? That's the only character I remember. The red hat. Yeah. NBA Jam. He's on. NBA Jam was a shit. You remember the original NBA Jam? You can put in those cheat codes to get the secret characters. I remember P Funk was one of the characters. I used to always play with P Funk. George P Funk. These Call of Duty games, man, they're badass. I was 20 seconds behind on the stream. Oh, that's all good. He's heating up. He's on fire. I remember all those. Those were cool. That's another one where I used to play in the arcade a lot. Oh, this is you right here? Nice. So this is Max destroying everybody. Oh, this is your channel. Oh, shit. Let me subscribe to you right here, buddy. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, but the first minute is the best part. Okay, now that I know it's you, I got to rewatch it real quick. That's my other channel, not CTN. Damn. Yeah, I gotta get back on my Call of Duty game, man. Kind of been slacking a little bit. Let's see. The big arcade when I was young was called the Fun Machine. We used to have nickel arcades here when I was younger. We had a nickel arcade. It had all the cool games, just everything was a nickel. It was pretty badass. Yeah, this Primal Rage, it was cool, but I don't think it had fatalities or fatalities or things like that. Bloody Roar 3, Primal Fury. I think I played this one right here. A nickel, yeah. A quarter to 50 cents. It didn't last long, but there was a nickel arcade. I think it was called Blaze Nickel Arcade. That place was the shit, and they kept it up. All the games were working. All the games were working. Usually you go to arcade and you have a section of games that are just fucking broke. All these games worked. They kept it clean, and it was a cool ass arcade. But man, I gotta get going. The wife went and got me a coffee. Thought that would get me up and out of the house walking. I remember nickel arcades, but there was this place called Wonderland in Southeast Oregon. You paid $5, you got unlimited. Oh shit, that's even better. And they had all the newest arcade games. It was amazing as a kid and teenager. You know what? I'm definitely gonna be doing more of these streams because this was a fun one. You know, hour and a half flew by. I got some errands I got to run. I promised the wife that we go out, get some sun, do some stuff. Chaka, I love the stream, man. Really, really, I did. Appreciate that, man. Brought back a lot of old memories. Yeah, it was cool. And like I said, me and the wifey came up with this idea because we were out walking yesterday. We did a 4 mile we walked like 4 miles, just, you know, around. We have like a little lake over here, a park with a lake, and it flew by because we just got stuck in this rabbit hole, and we were talking about all the different shit. And I was like, you know, I gotta do a stream about this because there's nothing not. I mean, there's so much to talk about. I just woke from an unplanned nap. Thanks for the stream, Chaka. That was fun. Appreciate you guys. Thanks, man. Thanks for hanging out. Definitely be doing more of these because I got to get my watch hours up. Definitely got to be doing more live streams. Got to get my watch hours up. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. Maybe we can make this an every Wednesday thing, a way back Wednesday, talk about shit, just life in general. So appreciate you guys. I got to get going. I'll see you guys on the next one. You guys are awesome. Later. Oh, before you guys go, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that bell notification too. So every time I put out another video, you'll be notified. Thanks for watching. I'm Chaka Crypto, and I will see you guys in the metaverse. Peace.
Chaka Crypto.